You turn the key and the drumsticks go up. They come down again when it chooses who it wants to kill next. It kills who it wants when it feels like it, and it doesn't owe you an explanation. It doesn't take requests. It's true what it says on the box. It's just like life.
Hey yo, my friends, somehow we have made it to episode 153 of the at most times premiere podcast, In Madness Pod. I'm Shawn the Butcher. I was here with Vertebrae 33, but now it doesn't look like anybody is there. Hold on, here he comes.
Shawn,
wait a minute. Wrong movie. Is this a callback to Nosferatu?
It is a black omen.
Yeah.
For you to cover the monkey.
Dude.
1 year removed from Nosferatu.
Is this the anniversary of Nosferatu?
So, Shawn, I sit here dumbfounded
1
at
second.
your love.
You sound like more like Master Splinter than you do Nosferatu.
Your love for the monkey as compared to my groundbreaking film, Nosferatu. I shall relax with some
black jelly beans.
Jelly beans. And know this, Shawn. I see you clearly. When you say the monkey is as good as Nosferatu.
I didn't say it was good as Nosferatu.
I'm watching.
So
Butcher.
wait, I did say it was my favorite movie of 2025, didn't I?
Your text speaks for you.
You get texts in the castle? You get good service in that bitch?
A blood-covered raven shall carry me these notes.
So funny. Nosferatu was in 2025, huh?
24.
Oh, okay.
But covered on in.
You're funny, Nosferatu. You weren't nearly this funny in the movie. So if you haven't already, check out our thank you, Nosferatu. Thank you. If you haven't checked out our Nosferatu episodes yet, that was special guest Nosferatu. What's gonna suck is Vertebrae is gonna be like, where was he? He misses him every single time. I wish anytime we had a special guest pop up that Vertebrae was here to see them. It's kind of like Comic-Con. I get special guests. Where's Vertebrae? He just flew out the window.
Who?
You just missed
sorry
him.
I'm late, Shawn. I'm sorry I'm late.
Count Chocula. Nosferatu just went flying out the window.
I was crying in the corner over a movie choice. That's me in the corner, Shawn.
It just baffles me. It baffles me how you can dislike anything about this movie. So I'm going to just ask you throughout, because everything progressively gets cooler for me and funny.
What did my text say to you, Shawn?
I don't know. Your first text was like, I can't believe you're making me watch this movie.
My last text was,
you're going to throw poop at this movie like a monkey. I don't get it. I don't get it. So I have watched this movie several times. I have, every time I watched it, I mark out to it pretty much the same way
look,
the first time.
There's black jelly beans over here.
Oh yeah. Who left the black? Those might just be black beans, like actual Goya.
Oh yeah, like magic. I'll try these later. Then I won't do them now.
There's a cool toy in this movie. There's a cool story with this movie. There's great comedy throughout this movie. A short story. I mean, I don't have all the info. Short story written by Stephen King.
Hey, don't steal my.
All right, I won't steal it. This is the mostly premiere podcast, In Madness Pod. We're doing it, episode 153. You could hit us on the socials at In Madness Pod, inmadnesspod@gmail.com. We're on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment. Give the 5-star reviews everywhere, no matter where you're listening, no matter where you're watching. Check out the In Madness Spotify playlist, which we keep adding amazing music to. It's over 17 hours long. Happy In Madness Monday. We drop a new episode every Monday for over the last 3 years. Make sure you tell everybody you know about this show. Spread the In Madness tentacles worldwide, and then soon wait till we get them galaxy wide and we start pulling in other planets. We will be the only listener podcast basis with listeners from other dimensions, and that's the way we want it. You can get shirts and mugs at inmadness.com. What mug do you have this week, Vertebrae?
Shawn, I'm going old school, and I'm just going with a Vertebrae 33 mug because before we start the podcast, I just have one quick thing to announce. So April 4th, Shawn, April 4th, I will be in Philadelphia at SneakerCon with our pals at Mischief Toys.
Cool.
And we will be releasing a toy together at SneakerCon. So I'll be at the booth. Come by and say hello. I'll sign the toy for you, and we'll hang out and talk. If you come by and say you listen to In Madness Pod, I'll get you on the list and send you a very special gift. But this is breaking news for my family members that listen to the podcast. They will find this out at the same time as everyone else. So first time ever going to SneakerCon. They've opened it up to toys. Mischief Toys was an invited guest by SneakerCon, which is incredible. So I'll be with Heather and Chris there for the whole day, and we'll check it out. So catch me in Philly, April 4th on tour.
Cool. Yeah. Vertebrae. It's the Vertebrae Leaves the House tour.
Yeah, it's a one day. It's one day, and I'm going by myself.
So I hope you're getting ready, because your pick is coming up real quick, unless it's the same pick you already made, unless you decided to call an audible. Your movie is next. This is my movie, a Shawn pick. And then we're going to be doing a listener voted poll. So make sure you keep your eyes open on our socials for that.
We need a drop. We need a Shawn pick.
Yeah. And a Vertebrae pick and a fan pick.
Yeah. Fan pick.
I love this movie. I really do. I watched it multiple times. Shout outs to Hulu. It's on Hulu. If you haven't watched it, you should probably watch it before I ruin every part of it for you right now. But there's so many callbacks to other movies that we have recently covered in this. I think it's great. Again, Stephen King. I think it's great. Osgood Perkins, that's your man.
Hey, come on! You're giving all my bits away.
But that's
here.
just these are people that you love.
What are we doing, Shawn? We're doing 2025's The Monkey. Yes, we're doing The Monkey from 2025, directed by Osgood Perkins.
Vertebrae's Dismay.
Produced by James Wan. How dare you, James Wan? Based on a Stephen King short story, first published as a booklet in Gallery magazine in 1980.
All things he loves, and somehow he doesn't like this movie.
Revised and published in King's collection Skeleton Crew in 1985. That's what I read it in Skeleton Crew short story. I will tell you just quickly on the cast. Theo James plays as one of the most annoying men on the face of the planet Earth. Plays the funniest identical twins
in a movie.
The shining star of this movie, and she's not in it much, is Tatiana Maslany, who does a great job as the mom. She's incredible. We get Elijah Wood, who's in there as well.
Also,
Osgood Perkins dips in for a role, right, as Chip Zimmer.
Oh, does he?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. I did not know that was him.
Yeah. And Hal and Bill's uncle. So there we go. And then, there's a kind of a cool opening theme. We're going to get into all of that, Shawn. I'm going to work very hard to stay as positive as possible throughout this film.
But I want your take on it.
Nobody tunes in to listen to people be negative. And I do not want to monkey poop all over your fun,
but
Shawn.
I need to know what you don't like, because I sit here and watching the movie, I'm like, what could he not like about this?
Did you ever
going over my notes? I'm like,
you cook, right, Shawn?
We'll put that in big air quotes.
But I know your significant other bakes incredibly, right?
Phenomenal.
Okay, so if I gave you the pile of ingredients and I gave her the pile of ingredients, and I told both of you with the same recipe to go bake, What do you think we're getting?
At what point do you think things go wrong here? That's the yeah. Because it'll be completely different. It'll be completely different. There's toys in this movie, creepy toy. So I feel like, and immediately when I was like, I don't think Vertebrae is gonna like this movie, even though every element of this movie I feel like would be things combined that he would like. I we'll get into it later. We'll get into it.
We'll go bit by bit. Listen, I don't want this. This is supposed to be fun. You're listening to have fun. I'm not going to be negative. I'm certainly not going to be negative about anybody that likes this movie or is into it. I think other than Theo James, there's a lot to like about this movie.
He's one of the things I like the most about this movie.
But and he's playing a role or multiple roles. So
yes,
I give him credit for that, and I give him credit for the character that he's portraying, and he's probably portraying it spot on. But we always say, Shawn, how these movies hit us, and when they hit us in our life. And so I think, sometimes some people like pizza with pepperoni, some like it with pineapple.
Vertebrae was not in the mood for this one.
This was
So, and that's my point I was getting to is like, I feel like for the most part, you don't like comedy injected into your horror movies.
Yeah, I like to mix my snacks. I like to mix.
What about the 7 Megadeth mix? This is like a 7 Megadeth mix.
It is, but the flavors all work together. And listen, there is a thin line between comedy and horror. There is, and a lot of horror writers will talk about this. It's right there on the edge. Any of these horrific things in a lot of the books I read or movies we watch could be taken as comedy because it's kind of so horrific that it's this weird line, like a thin line between love and hate type thing. I don't hate anything. I just think sometimes films, bands, artists have audiences, and sometimes they don't. It's kind of no different than when like Guillermo del Toro has all the ingredients of something you should love, and it just doesn't hit you.
This is your Guillermo del Toro.
Well, but I do like Osgood Perkins, and didn't Osgood do Longlegs?
Longlegs,
yeah, and I love Longlegs. I love Longlegs.
This is why, like, I'm batting 1,000 with this movie. I'm like, there's no way he can't like this movie, but I think it's the humor part to it. So when I watched it, I completely thought this was going to be, I don't know, a Pennywise movie or just a horror straight up movie. And then something happened. I was like, that's pretty funny. And then things kept happening. And every time they happened, first it went from questionable laughter to like, I was watching season 2 through 9 of The Simpsons. And still, when I watched it again for the 3rd time for this podcast, every time a joke was made, I still laughed out loud. It's just, anyway, are you ready? We can blow through this quick. I'm not going to make this take forever.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk
on the monkey.
Let's have fun with this movie.
Because it's just
a fun movie, right?
Yes, it is. So we started a pawn shop. We got the dad from Krampus, and I was like, cool. Vertebrae can feel comfortable at home. Episode 1, Krampus. He can relax a little bit. We got the dad from Krampus walks in the door, and he's covered in blood. Why would he be covered in blood? Very cool way to start a movie. He's dressed up as a pilot, and he hands a dude, the pawn shop owner, this evil looking monkey. The guy doesn't want it because it's broken. The stick is held up in the up position, and he's like, this pilot guy goes, you don't want that other stick to come down. That's when all hell breaks loose, when that other stick comes down.
Right. And Shawn, in the original book, the toy monkey brings about death by playing the cymbals. But Osgood, and says in an interview, he couldn't do that because apparently Disney had copyrighted a monkey playing cymbals for Toy Story 3.
Oh, no shit.
So his exact quote was, they own Darth Vader and they own the cymbals. He had to create more drama. So he does with what he called like the Tommy Lee stick spin. You know what I mean?
Which is a very cool. So my first thing with you, this toy, is this monkey toy not awesome in its design? And I want one. I want a monkey toy.
Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't.
You didn't care for the monkey toy.
It was fine. Listen, I mean, I get it. I don't know. There's times of it where it looks really creepy. I think stickiness of the spinning of the stick and the dropping of the whatever, I think added to what they're going to do with the rest of this movie. I think it showing back up as we go through it is pretty creepy, but we'll get to it. Shawn.
We'll get to it. So, this, my friends, brings me to my milking of the alpacas moment.
Milking of the alpacas moment.
Because the stick comes down and the monkey starts playing his drum. A spear gun that's in the pawn shop goes off through the shopkeep. Then it retracts and pulls all of the guy's guts out.
Yeah, this was when I was out.
Figured.
Here, Shawn, key, what we say when we talk about milking of the alpacas moment. That's the moment in the movie whether you're in for the rest of the ride or you're not in for the rest of the ride. So we get the beginning with this weird music. The shopkeeper looks guy's frantic. We're going to get something kind of crazy. And then we get this, and it's like, okay, then I know where we're headed. They pull me back in a second.
So now it gets even crazier because there's Krampus dad with the flamethrower, and he's like, die, you son of a whore. And he's burning this monkey. And then the image freezes, and then we get, okay, so this hit a nostalgia button for me. We get the voiceover of our main character, Hal, and this voiceover is done very well. I think his voice is great. I think his delivery is great, and it reminds me a lot of The Sandlot, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. So throughout this movie and The Wonder Years, I like a good, well-done voiceover. And this brings me sort of back that nostalgia from Wonder Years and from The Sandlot. So the image of the dad with the flamethrower freezes, and the voiceover says, this is my dad. And he handed down the curse to his kids, which is me, the monkey. And now we have our monkey.
And I do like, I'm a sucker for explaining bits or narration. But I think I'm officially finished with nostalgia.
Okay. No, not me. I crave it. Sometimes. I don't need a Jaws remake or anything, but
you say it out loud. You're getting The Exorcist with like 100 actors in it. Yeah.
No, but I feel like there hasn't been a good voiceover bit done during a movie in a while, and I like the way that this was executed. Executed being the highlight term. We got Hal and his twin brother Bill. Bill is the worst. He's always breaking Hal's balls, and Hal has a daydream. And again, this is what shocked me, of holding a bowling ball, which is, now that I'm saying it, an omen and foreshadowing for later, holding a bowling ball above Bill's face and just dropping it, and we see the ball drop, and Bill's face is kind of like a cake, and the ball just gives way. And I was like, oh my God. Very, again, like, kind of pulls me in immediately watching this movie.
Yeah, and one of the things, Shawn, about this movie that whether you like it or not is it's very sticky. And when you're talking about that bowling ball and maybe be an omen, it's very, like, no pun intended, hits you right over the head with the things that are supposed to be that way. So in that way, it feels very much, even though it strays from King's story, very much just like a extended Twilight Zone episode. Like, if I got this for 25 minutes, I'd be like, cool, 25 minutes of this, fantastic. That's funny. Oh, look, that happened, and then that happened, and then this guy did that. And that's what it feels like to me. And sometimes, we've talked about it. I think we talked about it with Fracassi about short stories being adapted and it being almost better because they can kind of fill in the world. I think in this case, Osgood's going for an exact vibe, and he's looking to fill in that world with that vibe. And I think for my taste, if he would have filled that in with like something really messed up and something really weird, you know what I mean? But he nailed exactly what he wanted to do with this movie.
I'm all for it. There's so many like funny movies that I think are the dumbest, most like garbagey, stupid, like this is what the masses think is hilarious. And so much of it doesn't hit for me. Comedians as well. Comedy has been falling off for me lately. I don't find a lot of things funny that most other people find funny. I'm like, this kind of sucks. And this, it surprises me when things make me laugh like The Simpsons makes me laugh. And that happened with this movie for me.
Yeah, I don't know that I laughed.
All right, we'll get into my laughy bit soon. So dad is gone, mom is dating, she loves dancing and tells kids dad went out for smokes, never came back. He made like an egg and scrambled. And I was like, oh, I kind of like that term. And boy, do I even like it more later.
Yeah.
Dad was a deadbeat. All he did was bring back crap from his pilot travels. And the kids are going through dad's closet and they find this beautiful round blue box. Tell me you don't love this box. This thing came in. You didn't care for the box.
It's okay.
Oh my God. And it's labeled organ grinder monkey like life, which is cool because it's not lifelike. It's like so well done, so well executed. Vertebrae doesn't give a shit about it.
But not an organ grinder monkey, though. Yeah, it's a drum playing monkey, but okay.
But it's called an organ grinder monkey because that's what it does, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I'm curious. But anyway, yeah, they gotta hit you over the head with it. We get the dad who left for, the classic like story. Dad went out to get milk and never came back type thing. So we're getting hit with cliches early to build into what Osgood is giving us, Shawn. He's giving this world, right? This kind of horror, nonsensical, but like quirky kind of universe. So great directing, great, like foundation for what he wants to build is perfect. Perfect.
They open up the box and see this beautiful looking monkey toy. I want this monkey toy. Comic-Con, listen up. Somebody better have that friggin' toy. I will come home with it unless it's like $350, whatever. It's very cool. And the box says, turn the key. See what happens. Would you turn the key, Vertebrae? Not knowing what would happen, would you turn the key?
Yeah, I mean, I think every kid is going to turn that key.
Turn the key
you
once,
gotta
right?
turn the key, man.
Bill turns the key, and after a long pause, the mouth opens. So this monkey looks adorable when you take it out of the box. You turn the key, and the lips open and shows these sharp teeth, and it immediately goes from looking real cute to looking really scary, which I thought was very cool.
Cool, but very articulate for a toy. And I felt like that's where like we got a little special effecty where there could be like where you see the lines where the mouth moves and like it would have I liked it better if it was a little older looking and not as like modern.
Fresh,
it's very like it feels like they CGI'd some bits of it too and got it to be like a smooth kind of thing. But again, if that's what he's going for to add to the weirdness, to add to the Twilight Zone-ness of this, the creep show-ness of this, then okay.
He turns the key, but nothing happens. Later, we're out eating with babysitter Annie. They're having hibachi. Vertebrae, come have hibachi with me. We gotta go. If we don't have to go to Brooklyn, we'll just come out and get.
I have had hibachi.
I know, but let's that's my birthday, like 4 years ago. You gotta come out. We gotta do hibachi again.
The people still talk about that time, So.
We get this dark music creeping in, and the monkey begins playing its drum, and the hibachi guy's doing his thing with the knives and the heart beating with the rice. I love hibachi. And then he's doing his whole thing, and the monkey hits the drum, and this dude slices babysitter Annie's head clean off, falling onto the grill. What's up?
Annie who?
Babysitter Annie, right?
Annie Wilkes is her name.
And why? Who is Annie Wilkes?
Misery.
Good, because we get another one. Awesome.
So they just do a little nod to it there.
There's
Annie
another one
Wilkes.
later. Do you know the other one later?
Of course I. Come
okay,
on,
all right.
Shawn.
Just checking.
I am 153 episodes into this podcast. I got you.
So babysitter Annie is dead, and I love it. The way they cut to all these funerals is right in the middle of all the mayhem. Everything cuts. You get the loud church organ and the person's picture at the funeral. It's very great how it's done, and they do this bit constantly throughout the movie, and every time it happens, it makes me laugh. Up walks one of the my favorite characters in the movie. This puts me over every single time. This kid who is the pastor or whatever at the church is so funny. He is so funny. He walks up and sees all these people at the funeral like he wasn't expecting a bunch of people at the funeral and goes, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You didn't like this. You didn't like this dude at all.
No, this is where I thought the movie was trying too hard. That we were turning this into like Napoleon Dynamite. Let's just get a whole bunch of weird characters in here, and yeah.
And I love.
He reminds me of somebody too, who I'm not a fan of. So I was like,
oh really?
You're
gonna tell me later. You're gonna tell me now?
No, I'm not
gonna. Okay. Tell me later. No, I thought this dude was it is like a bunch of Napoleon Dynamite characters to the point where it doesn't seem like he even has a script. It kind of feels like he's making everything up as he's saying it on the spot, but he's like mocking religion as he's at the pulpit or whatever.
Yeah.
And he seems like he's stoned because he's going a lot.
So I think what this movie for me does that I'm always struggle with is it's like a Rob Zombie movie. Everybody's like that. Everybody's off. Everybody's weird. I need some foundation in reality to you know what I mean? Like I need that I need somebody to be the foundation of reality.
Our foundation right here.
I mean, I guess, but she's, not long for this film.
Well, yeah. Then the foundation falls out and Vertebrae is like, all right.
Yeah,
I lost. She's gone. What am I even doing?
But she's not much of a foundation either. She's also weird. We're about to find out even more weirdness.
I like her weirdness. She's got a little bit of quirk to her. She's sitting there with the kids at the cemetery eating ice cream. Where do you get this ice cream from at the cemetery? It's like Homer with the hot dog guy at the cemetery. Do you follow my husband around, lady? He's putting my kids through college. They're eating ice cream at the cemetery. She's like, that's life. You live, you die. Everybody dies. Some peacefully, some horribly. Who cares? Let's go dancing. And then they go dancing.
Yeah. So every scene is based in almost no reality, which doesn't give me a foundation. Like
you don't like the ice cream at the cemetery?
I needed some tooth. If that happened juxtaposed with the priest being normal and us getting something weird. If we got something, imagine, Shawn, there's this funeral and the priest is there and he's being serious and we're getting sort of flashes of the monkey and like weirdness and maybe some weird, overtone sounds and whatever. And then we cut to this sort of disturbing scene with the mom being like, it happens, life, let's have this ice cream, let's go dancing. I'd be like, wow, but like we're just getting weird and then weird and then weird.
I hear you. I hear you. No, you like an ebb and a flow. No, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm learning more things about you. 153. Well, I knew you're going to fucking hate this movie. So, I mean, we are anyway.
But I am enjoying talking about it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, good. I think it's so good. Thanks for bearing through this.
No, this is not hard to do.
Hal's having a hard time at school. They got the girls bullying him. They steal his pants, and the monkey seems to be following Hal around. But Hal, so Bill tells Hal he can have the monkey. But he says, you have to say, I want to be Mrs. Stupid Monkey, which is just something I would do to my brother, like constantly.
It's kid stuff.
Yeah.
Kid stuff. Yeah.
And I thought Mrs. Stupid Monkey was a great name.
Absolutely. Band name. Add that to your list, whoever's putting that list together. But back up, Shawn. When they dance to a Little Richard song. So I think we got to add that Little Richard song to
the whole soundtrack to this movie. Like is phenomenal. There's great music in the opening. There's great music in all that. So yes, I will. I'm glad you noted that. I will absolutely do that. In the school, Hal's teacher's name is
Mrs. Torrance.
Call back to our episode from like a week and a half ago, kids. We are in the same world here, sort of.
Well, sort of. I think these are just cute nods.
I don't think there's any nod, man.
They're not in. Wait, I love that's the quote of the year when we put the best of episode together. I like a cute
some nostalgia, some cute nods, a stoned priest. Bill and these bully girls cover Hal in bananas. So now Hal is pissed. There's the monkey on his bed. He snaps. He's talking to the monkey. He wants Bill dead. He turns the key and the monkey spins his little stick, starts playing the drum. I love this toy. Upstairs, Bill walks in. Mom's in the kitchen. Something's wrong. She turns around. She's bleeding out the eyes and ears. The monkey hits the drum one last time and her brain pops. The bag she's holding pops. Everything pops, explodes, blood. She collapses dead.
I wrote in my note about this. Mom dies. They killed the best part of the movie so far.
My poor Vertebrae. We hear the Sandlot voiceover giving us our explainy bits. You turn the key, the stick goes up. Comes down again when it chooses who it wants to kill next. It kills who it wants, when it feels, owes you nothing. It doesn't take requests. Just like it says on the box, like life. Come on, Sandlot VO and a brilliant dialogue? You kidding me? You're killing me. This is what it's about right here. Now there are orphans, and this is great. So this is Chip. I love Chip. Chip's a weird guy, and so he's Chip. That's so funny.
He's Uncle Rico.
Yeah, he's got the chops.
I'm saying he's Uncle Rico, so we're in Napoleon Dynamite world.
It is, and I love. I didn't even.
But wouldn't it have been cooler if Uncle Chip was like not a swinger, but like just a really messed up, creepy dude? And we don't know
because it just keeps getting funnier. Even his death. Okay, now they're orphans, and they take in Aunt Ida, Uncle Chip. They're gonna watch them, but they never wanted kids. They're swingers. Yeah. But they're going to try their best, but our best is pretty bad. I just love the way he's just sitting here telling the kid your life is, you're not really going to mean much to anybody or anything.
Yeah.
So Hal grabs a hatchet, he takes the monkey to the garage, he chops off the arm, and the monkey's arm is bleeding. That's crazy. That's cool. He chops it to pieces, he dumps it in the trash, and he hopes that that's the end. You weren't a fan of him chopping the monkey and the monkey bleeding?
So is the monkey the most powerful thing in the universe?
It's just like whatever. It's like a thing. It's like
it's completely indestructible.
It's like Pennywise.
But Pennywise is not completely indestructible.
Well, again, the kids took him out and then he comes back, but like you could take it apart and it comes back. Yeah, it's like it's the evil monkey paw from The Simpsons. A lot of Simpsons going on, which is what I love here.
A lot of Simpsons. So Shawn, they head out here. Like, they head out here to Casco Township in Maine. You'll see a sign that says it's like the scenic Sebago Lakes region. Has a population of 3,600 people. In the summertime, 15,000 people, Shawn. We're staying away from that in the summertime. We'll go in the winter and hang out. But that's where they're headed out right now when they go on their little trip.
Chops up the monkey, but the monkey comes back. Bill wants to turn the key, see if anyone dies. Hal's like, Bill, don't. And before he can say Bill, don't, again, we hear the church organ, and it cuts to dead Chip at the funeral with his picture. I love this church organ interruption. It's just one of my favorite bits in the movie. Very well executed again.
Trampled by a stampede of 67 wild horses. Get it, Shawn? 67. Now we're getting quirky modernisms in this.
I don't think is that why they did it? I don't think that's why they did it.
100%.
I didn't even pick up on that. Whatever. Don't let it spoil. Don't let Vertebrae spoil this next.
No, do not let him spoil anything. This is
what happens next?
Guy's opinion.
I was like, this is a great concept for a way to kill somebody off in a movie. Even more brilliant, he goes, I heard our Sandlot voiceover goes, the coroner said it was like opening the sleeping bag was like a cherry pie, and explaining it is gross. Then they open the sleeping bag and it looks like raw hamburger meat and cherry pie, and they dump it out of the sleeping bag. Like one of the gnarliest movie deaths I've seen in the hundreds and thousands of horror movies I've seen.
And I will say too, I don't like the grossness in the movie.
It's over the top. There's a lot of
It's not my cup of tea. I think it's
you'd rather be left up to interpret.
But I like this next part.
The boys chain up the monkey in its box. They throw it down a well and they hope it goes away, and it does for 25 years.
Love this part. I think that's very cool. They're kind of working together, and
Now we see Aunt Ida 25 years later in her house. We see it in the corner. Slowly, the camera pans, and in a little dark corner, you see like a top third of the monkey's head.
Let's just remember this, Shawn. 25 years later, 2015. Remember that for a second.
Okay.
We'll get to it later. Just hold on to that.
All this bad shit starts happening to Ida. I don't want to have to go through it for anyone who hasn't seen the movie. It's very funny. She goes through all these like wacky things and ends up dying by impaling herself on a for sale sign.
Yeah, it's fishing hooks and fire, and there's
It's
a lot.
goofy. It's a little
Yeah.
over the top. Yes,
Yeah.
I will admit Aunt Ida's thing goes a little far and is a little too over the top goofy. That I will see eye to eye with you on. Our Sandlot voiceover says, "I haven't seen the monkey since we threw it down the well, but it seems like a matter of time before it comes back." Now we got Grown Hal, one of Vertebrae's least favorite characters in the movie. One of my I don't even know this dude. I think I like this guy a lot. I haven't seen him. I checked his IMDb and I was like, I don't know him from anything. And I was looking at everything. I'm like, I haven't watched any of these. And I'm like, I want to see this guy in more things. I love, at least for this movie, I think he's perfect and he executes things perfectly. He's grown. He's working at a grocery store. He doesn't talk to Bill anymore. He stays away from the entire family because if the monkey comes back, it'll probably kill someone close to him. But staying away from family is very difficult.
And he sees his kid once a year, which is like, does he talk to him? He could FaceTime with him. I understand the curse. So he's also like a lousy dad.
Yes.
Or a good dad. I don't know. He's protecting him, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. We don't get any parameters of that. We don't get any sort of like how often do they talk. Again, this is all just hammered through this creep show Twilight Zone lens. So we don't need to really give any kind of other stuff to it, any other weight to it. But I think that I would have liked a little more of this relationship with them.
But
what
we
the
can't
parameters are.
have time for that because we have to make time for my other favorite character in this movie, and I'm sure Vertebrae's least favorite character. Hal goes in to talk to his boss, Dwayne. Dwayne's this like 22-year-old kid with an afro who's like high out of his mind, and Hal's like, I gotta leave early to pick up my kid, and Dwayne's like, shit, man, that sucks. Hal sees his kid once a year, and Dwayne's like, shit, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
So he's like, your wife must be a bitch. And Hal's like, no, that's my idea. I'm a bad influence. I'm trouble, not like a pale horse named Death or anything. And then he goes, but there has been some death. It's just like these dead bodies have been following him around his whole life. And Dwayne's just sitting there listening to him and goes, shit, man, that sucks. I love this interaction they have.
It feels at times like a kind of quirky TV series where we're just getting introduced to these characters. Again, they're all very weird. So I don't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with the grocery store guy. It's the next guy that I have a problem with.
Hal pulls up to a friggin' mansion. His wife is now dating Elijah Wood, who is this self-help author guy who's got his head firmly jammed up his own ass. He's got a shirt. I just noticed my last time watching it, his shirt is all black except white over the nipples, and his nipples are showing through the shirt. And he's got like my little sippy cup here, but his sippy cup, first off, he's Elijah Wood. So he's like 4'11", and his sippy cup is the size of a fire hydrant. And he sits and he's drinking out of it with both hands. He's so good in every movie he does. I can't wait till we get to Sin City. He is amazing in Sin City. Lord of the Rings, I get it. All these other things, I get it. But Elijah Wood is really good at what he does.
This character, not a fan of. Again, we're getting just too much. It's just too much. It's like when
too wacky.
When you first like moved out on your own and you realized you could just buy tubs of ice cream and eat them all the time you wanted, and then you're like,
Too
wow,
much.
okay, like I shouldn't have had that much.
I need some celery. Yeah,
ice cream. Yeah, like I gotta figure out a way to balance this out. And as I'm watching this movie, I'm just fighting with that, where it's
There's
like,
no
okay,
balance. Yeah.
what Osgood is going for, he's nailing on every level, right? This, however I personally feel, but that doesn't matter. What he is attempting to do, and if you're into what he's attempting to do, he is nailing it on every level. Shawn, it's like a band. You may not like that type of music, but
it's like Slipknot.
You can appreciate them. What?
It's like where every element of it is like wacky.
Right,
but dudes,
I know,
but it works. But sometimes it works. Some people hate
that.
Slipknot.
Your cup of tea. It works because they're nailing it. Like, oh my god, this is more goodness. We get this with things when people are into properties, like Star Wars and stuff, where people will be so excited about it being Star Wars that they'll kind of like not pay attention to things that they might complain about on other properties or other movies because you're so into it. invested in this type of film. I needed more Longlegs, and he does this in Longlegs too. The characters are weird in Longlegs as well. A lot of them are.
Glad you brought that up.
But it's not like an over the top sticky.
It's not as much as this. There's nothing funny about Longlegs, really.
Yeah, but they're all weird. They're all messed up. They all got problems.
Elijah Wood has adopted Hal's kid, Petey. This will be their last time together, father and son.
And we get Petey, and then we had in the beginning of the movie Captain Pete, who was the guy who ran into the pawn shop, right? So we get clued in right away that there's this connection.
Now we get the kid, so I figured you would like this. We get the kid from Halloween Ends that everybody hates, Corey. In this movie, he's Ricky. He's got the absolute worst black-haired wig in movie history. It covers his face the whole time. I feel like they did that because of Halloween, because everyone hated him so much from the movie that they figured if they covered his face, like no one would even recognize him.
Yeah, he's like a mopey metalhead.
Yeah, he looks like an 80s hair metal rocker or a guitarist in a death metal band.
But like with emo sensibilities. We're jumping generations here. We got the sad metalhead. Yeah.
He goes to Aunt Ida's garage sale and finds the monkey. It brings it home. Okay, I love this. He's at home with his family. His brother, Bushamps. And I'm like, what? I have never in my 43 years of living have heard the name. I thought it was Beauchamps. And then on my third time watching, I'm like, Bushamps. I'm like, what kind? And I love, again, even weirder. Ricky's weird. His mom's weird. His brother, Bushamps, weirdest name in history, and is dressed like G.I. Joe at all times.
Right. Like, I don't know that he's in the military, but he's just into being in the military, kind of, just in the fatigues and everything. You know, he buys this at an estate sale, which is crazy because they run the estate sale. Like when we get there later on, it's like, oh, that kind of already happened without the, consent of the family. So like he didn't even get to go and pick through things and see if there's anything he wanted left. People go nuts for those estate sales, by the way, Shawn. People will swoop in out of nowhere because they got to get rid of everything. So it's like everything's like $5 or $10 or whatever the case is. Before I bought my house, when we saw the house, it was, the lady was moving out and there was a lot of stuff she was going to leave here. It wasn't an estate sale. She hadn't passed away, but she was moving and she just didn't want to have to deal with it. So they literally had a sale where people came through and bought, like, I'll take that rug that sits in front of the sink. I'll give you $2 for it. They bought like everything. The only bummer was there was a really cool rocking chair and we forgot to say something to the real estate agent and it was gone, because that would have been cool, because somebody probably bought it for like $10 or something. But they just came in and like, they just get excited. You come in with like $25 and get a whole bunch of junk that you don't need. So yeah, I wonder, the casting of this metalhead kid, I feel like it's intentional as some sort of statement on Halloween Ends. And I think that kind of like pulled me out a little bit too, because it's like now we're sort of making some meta statements on other horror. We're in this world, if we're mentioning Torrance and Annie Wilkes, but we're nodding to them. So maybe in this world they're fake. Like they're just like, oh, look, your teacher's named like that character in The Shining. Like, I don't think there's a connectiveness where we're supposed to think that they sort of exist in that world. I bet you there's other nods to other characters in King stories and stuff that we're just, if you
not
dug
even picking
deeper,
up on. Yeah,
if you dug deeper, you talk to Osgood, he'd probably be like, oh, this, right? Because they feel so, each of these characters feels so fully formed. And if you thought I would like the movie, then that's where one of the things where you'd be like, oh, Vertebrae's gonna love this, because I do love when we meet characters in the middle. We do it with Kubrick films, and we've done it with other films we do it, in Eggers films, where these characters are fully formed and quirky, and then we sort of figure that out. I guess it just has too much sort of jokey on it for me.
This is still going way better than I thought it was going to go. So thank you for doing this with me. This family also has no dad. Ricky's family with Beauchamps, and I love Beauchamps. Hal and Petey are at a hotel. Petey working on a school project and asks Hal if he has any siblings, and Hal's like, I do not.
I can't help, Sean, I don't mean to stop you, but I can't help but think we know about Osgood Perkins and his father, Anthony Perkins, and some stuff that the family dealt with Anthony Perkins and him being away and filming. And now we have 2 characters in this film with no dads, and then we have another dad who's not that great. It's heavy on that side. I wonder if that's him sort of working some stuff out in this movie as well.
Boys go to bed, and Hal is dreaming of the monkey of going down the well, and then we see a giant monkey with a hatchet now chopping Hal to pieces with a meat cleaver.
Mm-hmm.
Hal is shocked awake. The room is 1,000 degrees, so he turns on the AC, which is on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Hal gets a call from Bill. He says, Aunt Ida is dead from a freak accident. Go to Ida's and make sure the monkey isn't there. Hal's outside. Yep.
He says he wants to check if it is still there. Another little Stephen King reference.
Hal's outside talking on the phone, watching this chick in a bikini prancing around the pool. We see a pump gushing fluid. Bill's talking about the monkey and Petey, and Hal gets mad. Bill says, go check out the house, and Hal slams the phone, which makes the AC fall off the roof, sending a current through the gushing pump, which leads directly to the pool. Hal sees a woman diving into the pool. He's like, no, wait, it's too late. She jumps in. She explodes like a balloon. It's raining blood into the pool, and a fucking whole severed leg gets thrown at Hal, who ducks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, is that a leg?
Yeah. And Sean, is he on a payphone in
Yes.
2015? So like
again,
that doesn't
what
exist.
period? But what period is this? Maybe it's not.
They said 25 years later from 1999. They gave us the clear exact
you
date.
pay too much attention.
So.
So this is what happens when you pay too much attention to movies.
Yeah.
Hal's freaking out, wakes up Petey. We gotta go. Petey's like, I'm going to bed. And again, we get one of my favorite lines ever. I use this more in my daily life now than I ever had. We gotta make like eggs and scramble.
Oh, jeez.
You
use that?
I love it. I love this phrase. I love the way he delivers it. I love that it's a callback to before. Connects the dots very well. We're pretty much halfway through this. Don't worry. We get this awesome shot. Hal, as a kid, talking to a mom, asking for life advice. She says, take care of your teeth. Great advice.
Right. Also, Sean, when we're headed out to the Linda Vista Motel, which is a real motel in British Columbia, Canada. So they show that sign for a second. That sign is exactly as it is in real life.
Mom leans over Hal and says, also, try not to kill everyone around you. And then her whole head and eyes and face start bleeding onto the camera, and her mouth opens like the Scream painting, and it's bleeding everywhere. It's a very horrifying, gnarly shot.
I said bad dream. My notes, I wrote, I'm going to read a couple things from my notes coming up, but I wrote bad dream with his mom. Miss her in this movie. Best part back for a second.
They pull up to Ida's house, and a realtor pops up at Hal's window, and we get the shriek wee chord scaring the shit out of Hal, and like his reaction, like constantly, he's always jump scaring and going, oh my god, gee, throughout the entire movie, and every time he does it, I think it's friggin' hilarious.
Yeah, he feels like he wants to be Bruce Campbell.
Okay, I guess. The realtor and Hal have this like short but hilarious conversation about Hal's brother Bill, and now Petey is right there in the passenger seat hearing this conversation. And just to hammer it home, the realtor's like, your brother? I spoke to your brother. Your brother's the one that I'm talking about. And Hal's like, I know. I get it. But again, I thought this was funny, but I see everybody's weird. It's too much weirdness. I get where you're coming from. She's showing Hal the house. He's looking around for the monkey. She's telling about all the horrible deaths that have happened this past week. We got Lawnmower Man, Cappuccino Guy, Snake and a Hole Lady. And Hal's like, there's no snakes around here. And the realtor pauses and thinks and goes, there was that one.
Yeah. So I put, where's real estate agent? Weird. I wrote in my notes, weird real estate agent starts talking about all the town deaths, and exactly from my notes, Sean, I wrote to myself, oh man, Still like 40 minutes left of this schlock.
Oh, man. Damn it. I thought it was so funny. Hal hears the monkey music faintly. The realtor lady is just futzing around with a key. And Hal feels like something horrible is going to happen. She finally opens the door. A shotgun falls, shoots her. And just like the girl in the pool, she does get shot. Like her body explodes.
Yeah, a lot of exploding in this movie.
But so we get this awesome shot after it explodes. Hal's covered in blood and he's looking in the back of the closet. And part of the back of the closet is like a slim shot of tree branches. And then that opens up into this gigantic, it's like a nighttime scene. And you just see this big, gnarly tree, which is a shot I think he did in Long Legs with like the mother in front of a tree. This is kind of like another tree, but there's just the blue and red flashing lights. And I thought this was like a really, really beautiful, well done shot.
Yeah, there's some really good shots in this movie for sure.
Hal gets a call from Bill. He fills him in on the missing monkey and all the deaths. Hal figures out Bill lives close by. His number is listed as Miss Monkey.
And Shawn, I wrote in here, first of all, what's with the cheerleaders? Because we get the cheerleader bus going by. And then also I wrote Yellow Pages in 2015. That doesn't exist. There's no Yellow Pages in 2015.
That's where Hal finds Bill's Miss Monkey in the Yellow
that
Pages,
doesn't
like
that
in
doesn't
Terminator.
There's no way that exists in 2015.
He calls him and the answering machine says, if this is about my ad, I have been reunited with my beloved toy monkey. And now we see Hal in shock. We see Bill's hand turning the key. A person dies. Bill turns the key. Another person dies. It's been Bill killing all of these people by turning the key.
Once he got the monkey. Yeah, once he got the monkey from the Metalhead kid.
Yeah, so the Metalhead kid ended up selling the monkey to him. Bill knows that Hal killed their mom. Bill went back to the well after they dumped it in there, but it was gone. But the monkey left the key. Bill took it. Years later, they were reunited, and Bill's been turning the key, trying to kill Hal. This part was a little over the top, and I could have done without it, but I still thought it was pretty funny. We got my other favorite character, Dwayne. He's trying to get vape juice out of the vending machine, and it doesn't come out, and he's like, shit, man, that sucks. So he hits his vape, but he does the classic Sideshow Bob step on the rake and hits him in the face, which has got to be a reference to The Simpsons, and his vape goes down his neck, and you see a shot of like the prosthetic with the vape sticking out of his neck, and he gives us one more shit, man, that sucks, and then he dies.
Yeah.
Little over the top, but still kind of funny because it had a Simpsons reference. Ricky sold the monkey to Bill. Ricky wants the monkey back, but Bill refuses to give it to him. Ricky and Bill got a lot in common. They both got deadbeat dads. Osgood Perkins is like you just mentioned. This ties in a lot. Ricky grabs his dad's gun and asks his bro, Beauchamps, for bullets. And this dude's dressed like G.I. Joe sitting in the army uniform in front of the TV, and he goes, what caliber? Kid is weird as weird can get. Hal calls Bill, begs him to stop turning the key, but Bill refuses. He's like, either I'll do it or Petey does it because the person who turns the key won't die. There's a knock at the door, and it's Ricky with this awful wig, dressed in his dad's cop uniform, and he goes, it's the motherfucking police. Hal opens the door, and Petey points the gun at him and Petey, and he's like, we are going for a ride.
Yeah, but wait, Shawn.
Ricky points the gun, not Petey.
What year is this now?
So you said 2015. We're going 25 years after 2015.
Yeah.
So that's 5. So that'd be.
So it's 20. No. So it's 2015. It was 1999, which is 2015. But we get the year of the monkey.
Yes.
2016.
Uh-huh.
So what happened?
I don't know.
This all took place in 2015. Did we get New Year's? It's like bright and sunny out. How did we get to 2016, the year of the monkey?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's a lot of numbers that I wasn't paying attention to.
Right. But I'm saying they make a thing about it being the year of the monkey 2016. But they tell us that we're in 2015.
But that's not the year of the monkey.
Yeah.
What happened? I don't know. That looks like a Osgood Perkins thing. Robert Eggers would not have let that one slip. They pull up to Bill's fortress, and Ricky is shoving the gun in their face, saying, get the monkey and bring it back to me. And Hal tells Petey, don't turn the key on the monkey's back. Petey sneaks in the house, but it's booby trapped. He's got the Shining. He's got the Jack Shining axe. Like Home Alone, the whole place is booby trapped like Home Alone. We got axes flying through walls. It's pretty cool. Outside, Hal and Ricky notice a massive beehive hanging outside the car. Petey runs into Bill. He tells Petey, this is my favorite toy from childhood, but the drumstick is stuck. Could you turn the key? And immediately, doing the opposite of what his dad says, Petey turns the key on the monkey's back.
Can I just interject one more time?
Go ahead.
With math. Because
Yeah.
I'm very confused, Sean. You have to
Yeah.
help me. We're in 1999, right? And then they tell us it's 25 years later,
which would have been 2020. Yeah.
If it's 2015, it would only be 16 years later.
It's funny the thing is you get hung up on that totally.
Right? Am I crazy? 1999
plus 25 would be 2024.
Gives us 2024. But we have 2015 and then 20. Don't they say 25 years later? They do.
At some point, yeah. I don't remember at what point, and I don't remember what number they started with.
I'm so confused. Somebody write in and help me out because I thought we were in 1999 and 25 years later, which would bring us up to kind of the year of the release of this movie.
Yeah.
But then we fixate on 2016,
which is the year of the monkey.
Which is the year of the monkey. So we've got some interesting math going on.
The branch with the beehive slopes down to Hal's car. Stupid Ricky is scratching his head with the gun. It goes off, but it doesn't kill him. It just drills a hole through the windshield. The monkey starts playing its drum. Hal looks further and sees the bullet also went through the beehive, and now 1 million bees fly out of the hive right through the hole in the windshield into Ricky's mouth. He's shooting everywhere, not killing anybody, but just shooting his gun. There's bees oozing out of Ricky's face, and Hal, freaking out, gets out of the car and he slams the door, and the shaking of the car, you see Ricky's jaw shake off his face. It's gross. It's an awesome shot. But again, wacky and over the top.
And this is when this was the point where Mrs. Vertebrae came into the room when I was watching this movie, and she's like, "What is this movie?" Like I told her about it or whatever, and she's sitting there, and she's a child of the in the 90s, similar to you, is going to see stuff from that time period, an Amazing Stories, or she's really into the Twilight Zone or Creep Show stuff, and it was just she kind of chuckled, and then she was like, "Oh boy, I don't think you're gonna like this movie."
Not at all. Too much humor for his horror. Sorry. Bill tells Petey to turn the key again, but Petey refuses. Bill grabs the monkey. He commands it to kill Hal. He's struggling to make the paw hit the drum again without turning the key. The monkey somehow manages to shove Bill off, and we get this great shot throughout the movie. There's these awesome shots, these like piercing white little dots in the monkey's eye, and the camera slowly zooms in on it, and it's sort of like looking into your soul. It's pretty sick. By itself now, without the key turned, the monkey's playing the drums. However, this time there's no music, and this time it's hitting the snare wild as a mother effer, not like any other time before in this movie. Bill hears a loud noise, and now there's fires in the street, planes crashing out of the sky, bodies falling through Bill's roof. Hal busts in and finally confronts his brother, asking him why he wanted him dead. And he says, "I know you killed Mom, even though you were trying to kill me."
Yeah, and I forgot, Sean, the metalhead guy's name was Trasher. That was like his character's name. Trasher.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, straight out of like Ninja Turtles or something, right? Trasher.
I liked your Nosferatu Splinter impression. I mean, Nosferatu was here. You missed him. He left. And then
I don't know if you want
up.
to. I don't want you to say that out loud, Sean. If this guy was here, he might show back up again. I don't need that. I don't
went
need
for a
that,
coffee,
bro.
and then Nosferatu flew in the window.
I don't need that in my life, Sean.
The bros have a heart-to-heart about Mom and about the monkey, about everything. They make up, and Hal invites Bill on this road trip that him and Petey are on. Everything seems like a nice, happy ending till the monkey hits the final drum, and a booby trap goes off, loading a bowling ball into a cannon and blowing Bill's head smooth off, implanting his face into the wall.
And right at this exact moment, I realized why Shawn loves this movie. This is live action Treehouse of Horror Simpsons.
Yeah. It is. There's a lot of Simpsons in this.
Yes. Yeah.
And I love it. And
Yeah.
again, this is over the top. Why does he have a cannonball? Why does he have a cannon? Why would it point to, again, a lot of things and I get, so like beginning at Aunt Ida, things get a little wacky with the Aunt Ida death, and then Ricky with the bees in his mouth death, and then this blowing his head off death. I found the deaths in the beginning of, even with the 67 horses, I thought that was cooler than like, I feel like I don't know. There's parts of it that I get are a little wacky, but again, this dude Hal's reaction when the friggin' cannon goes off, he goes, Jesus! All of his reactions to all of the deaths and all of the jumps, I feel put it over and make it that much funnier. That's just me, though. Hal and Petey finish their road trip and have half the town is dead because of Bill turning this key or making like the monkey, hit the drum. There's bodies everywhere. There's dudes impaled by surfboards. There's baby carriages on fire. And I was like,
planes crashing. There's all kinds of stuff.
I hate this movie. This is when I was like,
I will tell you right now, right at this point, when we get the two of them together on a mission and stuff's going down and the world is headed to possibly an apocalypse if this dumb monkey doesn't stop drumming, I was in for this movie.
Should have started there.
I was in for this movie.
Well, good for Vertebrae. There's only about 3 minutes left.
Is there a sequel coming?
Hal asks Petey what he wants to do. Petey wants to figure out their monkey problem. Hal says we're going to keep it and hold on to it tight. And there's the monkey in the back seat of the car with the boys. Hal pulls up to a stoplight, and a pale white horse named Death, referenced multiple times in this movie, passes in front of the car. There's this long black trail of smoke behind it. It stops in front of his car and stares at Hal, and he sort of like nods and acknowledges it, and then it continues on its way.
And Osgood Perkins mentions this, Shawn. I'm going to read what he said about this because it's very interesting. He said, "You've culminated all this absurdity. You've done all this over-the-top stuff." So he's acknowledging, this movie's absurd and over-the-top. That's the intention of this film. And you're like, I guess I got room for one more, Perkins says with a laugh. Oh, look, it's the Bible coming to life in the neighborhood, just with a spotlight. And there's death. And he does look tired, and he's totally bummed, and he's had enough. And it's been a long hour and a half for him in the movie theater. It's one of my favorite parts of this movie. I also do love that he says, and it's been a long hour and a half for him. And I thought,
been
yes,
a long one for you.
Yes, Osgood, it has. But that's his intention of this movie, and he nailed it perfectly.
Hal wants to go dancing in honor of his mother, and the guys drive off. So finally, yes, we've had these cheerleaders randomly throughout the movie. At one point, they were bringing a body out of the house, and the cheerleaders were outside, and they were cheering. They're like, they're bringing the body out, and all the cheerleaders were cheering. Just very awkward. Again, very Napoleon Dynamite. So all these cheerleaders are on a bus, and it's driving one way, and all the cheerleaders are hanging out the window cheering. And a truck in the opposite direction goes flying by, decapitating all of the cheerleaders, blood everywhere, fade to black, the end. That's the monkey.
That's the monkey. That is the monkey.
I thought this movie was very funny, and I wasn't expecting it to be a funny movie.
What's so cool about doing this podcast, Shawn, is as you take me through this movie with your enthusiasm, each time you're saying it, I'm like, am I missing? I got to be missing something.
That's
what
me right so, with you. I'm like, what am I missing that he?
So I feel like it just didn't hit me, but it's intentionally absurd. It's intentionally weird. Right. I think I wanted something different from it. And again, that's fine. But like, I don't want to stifle your enjoyment of it or other people's enjoyment. No, it's a very well-made, well-calculated movie. I will say the only sort of like kind of weird, like plot holy scene is at the end where he's sort of explaining to his brother and they kind of have that moment, but he keeps calling him a name. And I just thought that was
it's a little excessive. That's why I skipped over it.
It was, yes, it was too much like just like this is Remember Friday the 13th, the TV series where they're going to pick the haunted artifacts and stuff. It felt a little too TV series-y, kind of like, let's wrap all this up. But like, where else are you going to go with this movie? Because the bar of absurdity is so high. But like the idea of these two people, you know, the dad and the son on this like apocalyptic journey now with this toy that they can't have hit the drum like that. What we set up is like interesting to me. Like, you know, can be darker, can be weirder. We're never going to get that movie. But so in that case, it's not like I turned this movie off and I just, you know, halfway through and stopped thinking about it or stopped whatever. I kept thinking about it. I even intentionally went in and did more research thinking I could find things, peel layers of the onion back more and more.
Which is not good usually when that happens, when you do that.
And then I felt like it was more just
Goofy.
It's intentionally absurd. I find these interviews with Osgood Perkins and he's talking about it. You know, he is acknowledging it's absurd, acknowledging it's not Longlegs or his next movie, The Keeper. I'm sure it's way different than that. So, yeah, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad
I didn't think I would because I was like, I didn't like Longlegs that much. And I was like, this will probably just be kind of meh. And it was completely different. And I like that you opened my eyes to the Napoleon Dynamite aspect to this, and I understand where you're coming from with that. And yeah, The Simpsons, there's just so much Simpsons in it, and I think again the nostalgia bit of that, not directly linked to The Simpsons except for the friggin' rake to the face, but a lot of the humor is like that nostalgia kind of humor that I found to be very funny. Listen, if you watched The Monkey, whether you loved it like I did or didn't enjoy it that much like Vertebrae did, let us know on the socials, InMadnessPod, at InMadnessPod, InMadnessPod at gmail.com, emails, voice notes, whatever you want. Acknowledge, interact with this show. We do this podcast for us. We do this podcast for you to listen to. And also the second part of listening is joining us in conversation on the socials and talking about these movies. Oh man, Vertebrae went to the bathroom and somebody's back with a crooked mustache. 1 year since Nosferatu, huh?
Butcher.
Yeah, what's up, Nose?
We are entering into the 1 year anniversary.
Apparently, I was unaware
of you talking about my film.
Good movie.
Nosferatu.
We should do a recap or something.
Perhaps you and I can go to the movies to see The Monkey 2.
We know Vertebrae won't be there.
And
so
I
maybe
will bring treats.
Oh, God. Black jelly beans. Do you mix the black jelly beans with the popcorn?
Jelly beans.
Gross. Black jelly beans. I guess he doesn't mix them with the popcorn. You could have all the black jelly beans, Nosferatu.
Awesome. Thank you, Shawn.
Oh, you missed him again. You just
where was he? Where was he?
Clark Kent.
I heard flapping of wings. Yeah, I drank too much coffee. I keep having to run the bathroom in those.
You get all your gnarly bits in for the monkey. Thank you for doing this with me.
I did. This was a fun ride, Shawn. I love. So, like, doing this podcast is gonna makes me watch movies that I wouldn't normally watch, and I find that's fun. That's enjoyable to me because now I've seen The Monkey. You're making me relevant, Shawn. I can talk about movies that just
Mortal
were recently
Kombat,
released.
Ninja Turtles.
Well, that's not recently released, but I can talk about other movies, and I like that. I would like you to continue to challenge me. I would like you to continue to put films on my radar that I might not watch if I didn't do it for this podcast. So I appreciate that. I do not want to stifle anybody's enthusiasm for this movie. If you like absurd, sort of jokey, weird, very weird horror, this movie is 100% for you. And you'd probably give it a 5-star review. But our next film, Shawn,
I usually don't like.
I know that's what surprised me. That's what surprised me. You and I have talked about Evil Dead in the past.
Yeah, I usually don't. I usually don't. I don't. This something about this was done with like my Beavis and Butthead humor,
and when it hits you, right? Too, right? I don't know when you saw it and when you're in the mindset, and maybe you're like, oh, this made a turn, and I did not expect this at all out of this movie, and I'm in for the turn. You know, I think the right amount of absurdity for me in a movie is like kind of Color Out of Space level absurd, right? I think that's where there are certainly absurd films I like, and we'll probably get to them. But
are you calling an audible for the next movie, or are we still?
I
doing
am not.
I
am not.
But not
because
don't tease anything because we're doing.
I'm not going to tease it. We're going to tease it on the next episode. But just to get everyone prepared, our next film will be 2 episodes for sure, and there is a book attached to it as well. And that's all I'm going to say because we have another episode in between.
We're going to do it in between.
There's going to be heavy duty research, whereas we can balance off and do something light and quirky like the
That's
monkey.
why I picked this. Yeah.
I like that idea. So we can bounce back and forth. And then, Shawn, we're going to have a fan pick movie.
Which we have to decide what we're letting them pick.
We have to decide, and we'll pick a category for it and pick the films in that category. So,
and with that being said, episode 153 draws to a close. Don't turn the key on the monkey's back. And with that, we will see you next Monday for maybe we do an interview. I don't know. Maybe we get somebody. We gotta get to do an interview with somebody soon. Or not. Maybe we'll just read some emails and just talk some smack. Maybe you'll find some new thing that he can rant about. With that, we will see you next week. Brand new episode. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you watch The Monkey and discuss with us on the socials. And we will see you next Monday for In Madness Pod.